2016. It's already been 10 years since the 2016 NBA draft, and me and Logan are here for our oldest redraft to date. We've just been doing the 2021, and now we are on the 2016 redraft. Some things up at the top. This draft was notable for having the most international draft prospects in history with 28 different players representing different countries. And also, another caveat, this was the first year that players were able to enter the draft, but then not lose their college eligibility. So, with that being said, what were your thoughts on this 2016 NBA draft? Do you remember watching it? And what were kind of your takeaways as the night commenced?
Yeah, I remember this is sort of when I started really following the NBA. I think I was probably seventh or eighth grade during this draft. And this is right after Buddy Hield just had his senior year of at Oklahoma where he was killing it. And I remember saying to my dad, how is this guy not going first in the draft? Little did I know there were so many good players just in the whole draft process, and it's not all about how great you were in college, really speaking for smaller guards like Buddy Hield was. But uh no, looking at this draft right now, it's like there's so many players that are still kicking right now, and this was a pretty deep draft, more deep than I remember, and I'm excited to get in to this redraft we got.
So, I think it was maybe this draft, but I definitely remember getting into it around the same time. I remember like the 2014, 2015, and then it really started to ramp up 2016, 17, and on. This draft, it kind of just seemed like the the star prize, Ben Simmons at number one. I mean, everybody's been appointed the next LeBron, but he was kind of like the lefty LeBron coming out of Australia. The second Australian drafted, I think behind, I forget who was the first, but the warning signs were there at
For
LSU
like a first
because,
overall pick, you mean?
yeah, just kind of talking about it
W-
before
Was
we
it
get in.
Bogut? Was Bogut the first one?
Yeah, Boga was the first
Bogut.
Australian, and then Ben Simmons. So, I mean, the warning signs were there. He's now a professional fisher, I think, still. And I mean, we can get to it when he gets drafted. I have some thoughts about him. But yeah, we can get straight into it. As per usual, Logan is the illustrious guest, the redrafter, the Mr. Archetype. So you got number one in the redraft. Who you taking?
I'm taking your guy. I'm taking Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Finals MVP. He's killing it still. He's doing it efficiently. There's not much to say about it. He's clear cut the best player in this draft. Um, I could hear arguments for some other players, but I think just all around, you take this guy who's, he's a sizable forward who can defend and score at all three levels, and every team would want that kind of archetype.
Yeah, I probably should have had a caveat for me taking the first pick because Jaylen Brown's an absolute stud, and we've seen this season he'd be my MVP if the season were to end today. He's been an absolute stud. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with Boston with Jason Tatum looking like he's going to come back and within the next month, I believe. He's now in five on five scrimmages with the main Celtics. Ron Harper Jr. was saying that he looks like Jason Tatum. It seems like he's going to come back within the next month. I don't know how they'll mesh because it's clearly Jaylen Brown's team now, and Jaylen Brown has shown that he can lead Boston to a top three seed. So if Boston plays it smart, which I think they will, they'll kind of ease Jason back in, keep him on kind of a minutes restriction, and see how things go. And I think both of them have the mentality where it won't ruin the team. I think that they both can play a little bit of, here you lead the team and I will. Like when Jalen's off, then Jason can step up. So I mean, it has to be him with the number one overall pick. Number two, it gets a little interesting. It is kind of the a little bit of a drop off, but I do think this draft, I'm going with my favorite guys. And I think I have to go Siakam, number two. I just love I just loved watching his development in the early years in Toronto, and I think he's been a really, really solid player for the Pacers since getting traded. And if it wasn't just such a bad team with, all the injuries and things like that, Siakam's just the anchor. And I can't wait to see what happens with him and Halliburton coming back, and then the draft pick that hopefully will be a pretty solid one for Pacers fans. It's going to be fascinating to see what he looks like.
Hmm. At number three, I will take Jamal Murray. Just super dynamic scorer, can hit almost any shot that he wants, plays super well with Joker. I don't know why the Nuggets would ever want to mess up that connection that they have. Not saying that they are, but there's been times in the past where it's like, oh, Jamal Murray's health, that contract is pretty big. Is he still going to be as effective as he was? Yeah, Jamal Murray is still really great, and they've won a championship together. We've seen Jamal Murray be the best player on the court in playoff series, and yeah, I got to take him with this third pick here.
I mean, that's a great pick. It's really fascinating to think about where Philadelphia could be right now if they had Joel Embiid and then Jaylen Brown potentially with the Sixers and then Jason Tatum potentially in the 2017 draft. But Boston really lucked out. I mean, getting Brown at number three and then Tatum, I think it was at three as well. So it's crazy how the draft order went. And then the Lakers getting Ingram and Lonzo Ball wasn't terrible. They packaged all of it for AD, so it kind of ended up working out for them. And the Sixers really was
Mhm.
they were kind of they got the short end of the stick out of those three teams. And then I mean we have to get to it right now. The fourth pick in the actual 2016 draft was Dragon Bender, and this was when it really started to fall apart for me as a Suns fan because the next year the Suns took Josh Jackson, and that was the ultimate stamp in me being like, yes, I love Steve Nash as a kid. The 7 seconds or less Suns was the best, but I am officially retiring as a Suns fan because what the hell are you guys doing? You getting a player named Dragon? Like, all right, what are we doing now? I don't even know what the hell this. I don't even know how long he lasted. I mean, career games. I wouldn't even be shocked if it was less than like a full season because I mean, what are we doing? There's so many other guys they could have drafted. I mean, you even mentioned Buddy Hield. Like, I couldn't even imagine him and Booker together. That would have been electric. So I just wanted to bring that up because the Suns just really took a huge step back in terms of getting to where they did eventually in the finals in 2021, but they had so many opportunities to get some players that really would have helped them. Ending this draft with Dragon Bender and Marquise Chris really set them back when they could have had, throw in Buddy Hield and I mean even like Sabonis or like even Malik Beasley or there's so many players as we'll get to. With that being said, I just mentioned him. I think I have to take Sabonis with the fourth overall pick.
I like that. Um, all right, number five, I'm doing it. Give me Ben Simmons.
Mm.
So I just love this kind of archetype of a player. Just massive forward, can defend all levels. He's a playmaker, and it's like the only problem is the shooting, obviously. But I would totally take him in a redraft. I would have taken him number four. I have him number four on my redraft big board right here. I would roll the dice again. Like he surely that playoff moment against Atlanta is not going to happen again. Whereas, his confidence just got shooken and the city turned on him and he didn't really want to play for them anymore. And then, of course, he did have all these back issues that you can't really predict. So maybe that happens again in a redraft. But I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. He was all defensive team twice. Like I'm taking that every time. I remember a game against the Jazz. The Sixers didn't have Joel Embiid and Simmons. I think he had dropped 50 points, and I watched those highlights quite often. Just the way he could slash to the rim. make these passes. Like I just feel bad for him. And I even liked him on the Nets too, like being sort of like a pseudo center, giving, doing DHOs with Harden, with Kyrie and KD. Like I liked him in that form too. I even liked him on the Clippers last year as a backup center. Like I understand like if he wouldn't want to be in the league anymore because he doesn't want to keep playing backup center, but I still think he could play in the league as a backup center. Like he could be a really good offensive, jolt for your bench. Maybe not in a playoff series, but just getting through the regular season. I'm sure there's some teams that could use Ben Simmons and what he can do, in 2026. But 10 years ago, um, yeah, I would take him in this redraft at number 4.
I
I
think
guess number 5, but he was fourth on mine on my big board.
I got you. In terms of the past 10 years, I think Ben Simmons is easily the most disappointing in terms of the hype. I know that there's an argument to be made that the very next year, Markel Fultz, in terms of just Lonzo Ball being taken after him, Jason Tatum, players like that, very disappointing. The mystery of the shoulder injury, I mean, we really don't really know what happened with that. But of the last 25 years since 2000, how would you rank the most disappointing number one overall picks with Kwame Brown? I think has to get thrown in there. Bargnani, if you want, Anthony Bennett, Ben Simmons, and Markel Fultz. Of those top five, how are you ranking them in terms of most disappointing to not as disappointing?
To be honest, I'm not too familiar with the Kwame Brown situation, and um, but I mean, I would say Fultz and Simmons are the least disappointing because they still did have a few good years of play. Anthony Bennett kind of flamed out immediately, if I remember correctly. And as far as Bargnani and Kwame Brown, I honestly don't remember much about their careers. It was kind of before my time. I did want to clarify though. I said Simmons dropped 50 in a game. That was false. He dropped 42, but also had 12 assists, and that was against the Jazz. So I just wanted to fact check that for you. But yeah, I don't really know much about Kwame Brown's career arc and really Bargnani as well. The only thing I remember about Bargnani was that horrible shot that he took against Milwaukee when they got an offensive rebound and they didn't have to shoot it, but he shot a three and bricked it. That's all I remember about Bargnani.
I know. I mean, Anthony Bennett, it was just kind of a weird draft. Giannis going 14, I believe, in the 2013 one, and nobody really knew he was going to become Giannis. So that was kind of just a weird draft. The Sixers, I mean, I was always a fan of Jason Tatum, so I really think he should have just gone number one. And Fultz was electric at Washington, but I guess that just injury kind of came out of nowhere because I think he could have been a really good player before all that stuff kind of really sidetracked his career. Moving on to number six in the draft after Ben Simmons. Before we move on from Ben Simmons, do you think he was shooting with the wrong hand the whole time?
Is there a theory there? I don't know about that. Is he actually right-handed?
There's a theory that I think he does everything else right-handed in life except shooting a basketball. And there has been some speculation that he was shooting with the wrong hand the whole time, and he really should have been because he was kind of ambidextrous when you look at his passes and things like that. And because people were comparing him to LeBron because LeBron is ambidextrous, I believe. And when you kind of look at it, I mean, because the shot never really was there, and I think he really just was shooting with the wrong hand the whole time. That was a theory that kind of came up almost a decade ago now. So I just wanted to run that by you because I didn't know if you knew about that theory or not.
I didn't really know about that. I would say he was shooting with his correct hand because, surely he's had many coaches in his life that teach him how to play. And, maybe like in the past, he's tried shooting with his right hand and they've just decided, like, no, it's not going to work. So I don't really know.
This next pick at number six is where it kind of gets interesting for me. I feel like it's an obvious choice, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with this draft, my favorite players, and I got to go with Van Vliet, Wichita State legend.
Hmm. Wow. Champion.
One of my favorite teams to watch, that 2019 Raptors. They had, I mean, the talent on that roster is insane when you look back.
It is. They were really deep. Wow. I had him a little bit low on my board. I think that's just because I don't like small guards as much, but he made it happen. He won a championship. Um, all right. So at number 7 then, I will take Brandon Ingram. Um, like I said with Jamal Murray, this guy can just get a shot wherever he wants on the court. For the most part, he's not as much of a high volume 3-point guy, but I love his size and his ability to rise up over defenders, shooting that mid-range shot. And you know, I'm really excited to see what this current Raptors team looks like in the playoffs. I'm excited to see Brandon Ingram really get another playoff shot because he had a few with the Pelicans. I remember Lou Dort put him in hell that series, I think 2 years ago. But I still like just like kind of the player archetype as it is, just tall guy that can get his shot in most areas. I will say I was on the fence between him and another guy who I hope you don't take here at number 8. Yeah, 8.
Hmm. Between two guys for me. And it's not really, I don't know, actually. I don't know if I want to go defense, shooting, or big man. I don't know. I mean, you took my guy at the top, so I don't know. I might have to. I love shooting. I got to go with Hield at 8. I mean, I loved watching him in college. I like you thought he was going to be not Steph Curry, but I thought he was going to be like a just, which, he was a great shooter, but I thought he was just going to take over and be an absolute superstar. But at the end of the day, I mean, you gotta get shooting where you can get it. So I think I have to take him here.
I actually have him 15 on my board.
Mm,
Crazy enough. I do want to tell a quick story. I had his Pelicans rookie jersey, and I went to a jersey party my senior year of high school, and my girlfriend needed a jersey, so I gave her this Buddy Hield one. And we meet up at the end of the party, we're getting ready to go, and she's not wearing the jersey. I say, "Where is it?" She said, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Why'd you take it off?" And she was like, "I don't know what she said. She might have like gotten hot or something. Like, why didn't you give it to me?" And it's gone. I don't have the jersey anymore. Think of how rare that jersey is. It was the year before NBA switched to Nike. So this is the last year of Adidas jerseys, and it's a Buddy Hield Pelicans jersey because he got traded. In fact, he got traded his rookie year to the Kings. So that's such a rare jersey that just gone, gone. Um, yeah, I had to say that. Whoever has the Buddy Hield jersey, I'd love it back. I don't know where it is. Um, so number 9, this guy is 6th on my board. I'm taking Alex Caruso.
mm, it's a good pick.
Champion, champion, athletic. The three ball is very questionable at times, but there has been times where it's been pretty good. That Lakers team in the bubble, I think it's one of the best teams of the 2020s so far, and Caruso was a big part of that. And I have to take that because who wouldn't love to have a huge guard defender on their team that can give you some playmaking and hit or miss shooting? So I'll take Caruso here at number 9.
Yeah, an absolute legend. Texas A&M led them to one of the craziest comebacks of all time in March Madness. It's a great pick. This player, I would have been really happy if he was on the Celtics, but we got Big Vooch. Can't be too mad at that. I got to go with Zubac. I didn't realize he was drafted by the Lakers and ended up on the Clippers. So just the Lakers, man. The last 10 years has just been really, really weird. Looking back, I mean, obviously they have the LeBron signing late in the 2010s and then the championship in 2020, but a lot of strange moves. and a lot of players I forgot that was a part of the Lakers organization, and they're really experiencing the nine stages of DeAndre Ayton now with I think withdrawal. I think they're experiencing right now. So welcome to the fan club of I told you so. To the Suns and the Kings for not taking Luka Doncic. I mean, Kings and Suns just continue to really disappoint their fan bases. Who do you have at number 11 now as we get past the top 10?
Number 11, I'm going to take DeJounte Murray. Um, who knows how much he contributes to winning? I think that's a little unfair for me to say because he got hurt towards Achilles. But even then, like when he was in Atlanta, the defense kind of fell off. The fit seemed really good, him and Trae Young, but it kind of never really worked out too well because they traded him 2 years later. And he actually is practicing. He might be back within the next month. But overall, still like the prime of DeJounte Murray, just a super great defender, super athletic, triple-double machine. Can get to the rim whenever he wanted, really. The mid-range shot was pretty good. Um, if he never got hurt, I still think he could be one of the top. I don't know. There's so many good guards in this league. I was about to say top 10, but that's pretty crazy. I'd say top 15 guard if he never got hurt. But it is a little weird how the defense fell off whenever he got to Atlanta. But I'm wishing the best for him. I hope he has a good recovery off the Achilles injury he had.
My next pick, you are going to decide who I pick because these two players are it's kind of a door A and door B. So, door A, you have I'll put it in terms of a friend group. So, door A, this friend is a really good time. They are a really good time, but you can't fully trust them because at the end of the day, if you lend them some money, you might not see it ever again. So that's door A, but they're a really fun time. They'll party, they might bring some girls over, all that good stuff. Door B, this player is, consistent. Every single night, they're always there. They're always there for you. If you need to cry on their shoulder, they're there for you. But you only have them for a limited amount of time. It's like, if y'all go out at 10 p.m., they're probably going home at 1, no matter what. It's a finite amount of time. So, what door are you taking? Door A or door B?
Uh, um, go, go. Let's go door A. I want to hear door A.
All right. You open door A, and now you are stuck with Malik Beasley on your bench. I'm taking Malik Beasley at number 12.
Okay.
Are you intrigued to see who was door B?
I would like to hear, but I might be drafting him here. I'm not sure.
He might be my next
So,
pick, so we'll
well, might be
find
your
out.
next.
But I do like to take some risks. So if I can tell Malik Beasley, hey, please do not gamble on these games. Like we need your shooting. We'll see what happens. But I was kind of glad you took him because this other guy I love. But come on, you got to stay out and party with the fellas. So
Um, okay, so this is number 11 or
this
13?
is 13.
13. Give me Jakob Poeltl.
Mm.
Steady center. He's still kicking in the league. Yeah, he was third in the worst contracts draft that we did. Yeah, he's has an alarming back issue for the last couple months. He's finally healthy, but he missed about a month and a half. But nonetheless, he's had a great career, 10-year career so far. Good rim protector. His playmaking has developed over the years. Just a good steady center. I've always liked watching him play. He's always been a good fantasy guy for me because, he gets the blocks and steals and assists, which is all just super valuable coming out of a big man. So, yeah, just a steady center. I love that. Give me Jakob Poeltl.
Door B is still there for me. We have the crazy on the team on the bench, might gamble away some games for us, but this guy's steady, kind of like a general, just out on the battlefield. It ended too early for my guy Malcolm Brogdon. Boston, I mean, honestly, man, I wish he could have just lasted a little bit longer. Maybe we got him a little bit earlier. He did have those injuries at Virginia, and that kind of just had a finite amount on his career because I mean with foot injuries it's you can only go so hard. So I got to go with Malcolm Brogdon. I really did like watching him. He was a perfect player, just having kind of the perfect point guard that you needed with both of the Jays and getting that team going. I think we got rid of him right before the championship team, but I mean one of those players that you just love to have on your team.
Yeah, good. I like that pick. I'll always remember the shot he hit against the Celtics in the playoffs whenever Giannis drove, kicked out to Brogdon. Brogdon made the shot, and then Rozier comes down, crosses up, Bledsoe, he hits a shot, and then Middleton hit that game-tying shot with 5/10 of a second left. I'll always remember that. But it started with Brogdon, and I think he was a rookie when that happened, so he stepped up big. All right, my next pick, I I'm gonna go with Dorian Finney-Smith, undrafted. Just steady 3-and-D guy who's pretty tall. He's been kicking it in the league still. Not much to say outside of that. He had some really good years. I think in his prime, he could have been a really effective small ball five in some lineups. And he probably was. I just don't. uh, Anyway, give me Finney Smith, just tall guy, shooter, good defender. Couldn't ask for any much more out of him. It's
Yeah,
pretty
we have
good.
some really good defenders left on the board still. My guy, I gotta take him. Definitely a little bit disappointing considering where he was drafted, but I think Chris Dunn is a quality pick as we head down like near the end of our draft at number 16. Kind of a journeyman throughout the league, drafted by Minnesota, has kind of bounced around. I like watching him on the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers with Kawhi, you never know what can happen the rest of the season, and getting rid of Harden is a massive move for them. I know the Cavaliers are with honeymoon Harden right now, and he's doing what he likes to do, but just wait until April rolls around and he chokes. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Number 17, who you got?
I'll take Derek Jones. He's having a career high in points and 3-point shooting. His career was really on the fence, and then the Mavericks kind of just turned him around and saved his career. Like he turned in, I mean, he was always a good defender and super athletic, but once the 3-point shot was falling down consistently, it was like, yeah, you can stick around in the league now. And I don't hate him, but I hated him in the series against the Thunder when they still had Giddy. Derek Jones just kept hitting so many threes, and it was driving me crazy. But I respect the hell out of Derek Jones, and I think he's an awesome player right now. And he still probably has another good, maybe not good, but he still probably has another 5 years in the league, I'd say, unless his athleticism just completely falls off in the next few years.
Yeah, when he was starting to get minutes and starting to get run in the NBA, I just thought he was a really good dunker. I didn't really know he brought too much to the table other than that. I mean, as we head into All-Star weekend, I was seeing right before we hopped on the pod the Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon dunk contest. It just hasn't been the same since then. I think that was 2016, I'm pretty sure. Um, but it just hasn't been the same. I'm just not really looking forward to All-Star weekend this weekend. I don't even know if I'll really watch much of it just because yeah, we have the world versus USA. Nick Wright had a really great idea with blacks versus whites. I mean, that would be pretty interesting because, they would play hard as hell, as he said on Bill Simmons' pod. But we got to shake something up. Adam Silver, he's been a quality commissioner, but I think he just has to take more chances. I really think that they should shorten the season to 70 games just because I don't want to see like Tatum blowing out his Achilles at 27. That's insane. Like these players are, I mean, LeBron's talked about it. It's just so much harder to play nowadays. What do you think? You don't want to shorten it?
No, I don't want to shorten it. I will say, like, the game is harder to play because it's quicker than it's ever been and more skilled. So there's more, fatigue getting on players' bodies. But I mean, this is why. you use your bench, and this is why we have the managing of injuries. I don't think, I mean, it's Silvers came out and said that shortening the season would have no effect on injuries. Like players are going to get hurt. That's just how it is. It doesn't matter that there's more games or not. At least in my opinion, I don't think so. Um, I've always been pretty strong on this side, like keep it 82. Also, like why would you want to shorten the season? Because then you have all this historical data that's just now going to be skewed and different from what you would have going forward. I think that's just the data nerd side of me that would hate seeing that happen. As far as the All-Star game, I will say like Silver has tried stuff and it just hasn't worked, but honestly, I don't really care. I don't watch any of All-Star um unless like I'm sitting down eating dinner and the 3-point contest is on, then I'll watch it. But aside from that, I don't really give a damn about any of it. This is kind of like a week off for me. It's like a vacation for me. Like I do so much every day just like following the league. So like this is like a vacation for me. And honestly, I know the league needs to make money and everything, but I almost wonder if they should just use this week and take a week off. Maybe keep like the Rising Stars game because that's good for them to get some recognition. But like as far as the All-Star game, it's like obviously no one cares anymore. The players don't care. I don't even think anyone wants to watch it. Is anyone even going to be watching the dunk contest this year? I can't even for real like remember who's in it. It's like Jackson Hayes, Carter Bryant, Jace Richardson, and
Keyshawn Johnson, man. Shout out to him and Carter Bryant. U of A, baby.
Shad Johnson. Nice.
That's all I care. I'm
Yeah,
not even going to watch it, but shout out to both of them. Carter Bryant's been playing pretty well for the Spurs. I mean, this past week.
I will say it's pretty cool that Damian Lillard's in the 3-point contest. I think that's a nice play. Um, but I can't guarantee that I will watch it. I just don't really care, like I said.
Yeah, I used to watch it. I mean, I remember watching Jason Tatum in the skills challenge win that in like 2018 or something like that. But when Kobe passed away and they had the weird name where you had to hit a certain amount, the I forget what it's called, but they had to hit a certain amount of points, and LeBron hit like a fadeaway game winner. That was kind of cool, but other than that, I mean, it just really hasn't been a memorable weekend. The dunk contest is a joke. It's not the same as it used to be, Vince Carter and all those great dunks that we had. Last three picks, number 18. It's kind of tricky at this point, but I think I have to go with GP2. I mean, just the tenacity he brings on defense and being in that Warrior system and the ability that he's shown being undrafted coming out of Oregon State. I got to go with Gary Payton II.
Yeah, I like that. He was next on my board. Um, I'll take Torian Prince. Last season, he was statistically one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. As for this season, he's kind of dealing with a freak injury. I'm pretty sure it's like a neck injury that he sustained super early in the season, and just hasn't played since. So that kind of sucks. But regardless, 3-and-D guy, like I said last season, one of the best shooters statistically. How can you pass that up in a redraft? Give me Torian Prince.
Yeah, so with the last pick, I mean, I think I got to go with one of my guys from Arizona. I mean, Gabe York. He got a little bit
That's
of play with the Indiana Pacers a couple years ago. He's been kind of, in the G League and international and stuff, but I think if he got a chance, he would shine. I think he played decent for the Pacers, but I got to give it to him with the last pick. I mean, it's kind of just for jokes because, with the real pick, I think I'd probably have to go with someone like I mean, we still on the board, we still got like Karis LeVert, George Niang, Daniel House, Damian Lee, Yabu, Ryan Arcidiacono, Ron Baker. Marcus Page hit that legendary shot for the Tar Heels before Chris Jenkins ruined their title hopes, and then Tyler Ulis, a small guard out of Kentucky. Those are kind of the players notable. Did you have any names that we didn't mention in the draft?
yeah, I had a few like just undrafted guys that were still kind of kicking it. I will say, shout out to Gabe York, went undrafted 2016, and he fought hard and played 5 total games in 2 different seasons in 2021 and 2022. So he grinded in the G League for about 6 or 7 seasons and made it into the league. So shout out to Gabe
Bro,
York.
When you get a chance, look at his highlights from Arizona. He was like our Curry. I swear, he was a
Oh.
dog.
Um, I did want to, you said his name already, but I did want to shout out Daniel House, one of my favorite Rockets ever. He was a very key player in that 1920 season whenever they traded away Capella for Covington and just went completely small ball. They relied on Daniel House so much, and he delivered. He was just a super athletic 3-and-D guy, shooting 40% from three. And I mean, that's really it for the most part. There was sometimes when he tried to be a playmaker and dribble, which was kind of an experiment, but I just wanted to give a shout out to him because I loved watching him play.
Do you have the draft order right up right now? If you don't, that's okay.
I do.
Okay. Did you see who went number 10 in this draft?
Thon Maker.
That's crazy. I can't believe, I mean, some of these names, like, I don't even know if they got any play. I mean,
Juancho Hernan Gomez was in a movie. He starred
yeah,
in the Adam Sandler movie.
yeah. And I mean, he looked amazing, but I mean, as we know, I mean, a consistent bench player. Just some of these
Um,
names are crazy, man.
yeah. Number 24, Timothy Luwawu Cabarro. He was I thought about him the other day actually because I was thinking about those old Nets teams with Harden, Kyrie, and KD. They just made so that team made so many role players look good. Like DeAndre Bembry was a guy that was playing well for them. Alize Johnson had a 2020 game, and then Timothy Luwawu Cabarro was playing bench minutes for him. I just wanted to shout out him because I was thinking about him the other day.
I think the legacy of this draft, it's kind of the black cloud of the process and kind of forced the NBA to change those odds of the number one pick being like 25%. Now it's a lot less than that. And then Jaylen Brown going at three and just Boston being able to find him and develop him because looking back, it's kind of like, yeah, you should have taken him number one. But at the same time, coming out of Cal, couldn't really shoot that well. People didn't really know how he would be, but the development that he's had over the last 10 years, I think, is really the stamp on this draft. If you were to give this draft a grade overall, what would you give it? I'm kind of thinking like a B minus. It's not great, maybe like a B.
I would, yeah, I think a B is pretty fair. It wasn't like anything spectacular, but it does have quite a few guys who are still kicking in the league. Um, and they did pretty decent undrafted wise. Like we didn't even mention like Bryn Forbes. He won a championship in Milwaukee. Anthony Gill is still on the Wizards. Um, but yeah, I'd say it was a solid draft just because there's some guys that are still kicking around.
Which one do you want to do next?
I mean, we could go up to 17 if you want.
I get the number one pick. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for joining, Logan.
Of course.